Our communities face many environmental impacts, from industrial pollution, emissions from trucks and the goods movement, and refineries that pollute the air we breathe on a daily basis. We need to be in a place of zero emissions to clean technology, but when it comes to clean transportation, what does that look like in our communities? When it comes to clean tech and its infrastructure, our communities are oftentimes left behind. An example is the gaps in electric vehicle charging stations in the Southeast LA area compared to other areas in the county. Another example is the dangerous push for natural gas as the best alternative fuel. Barriers exist when it comes to having access to clean cars, one of them being information about these technologies. So let's talk about them. The hybrid electric vehicle relies on gasoline but reduces emissions because it has a fuel efficient engine and an electric motor system. The plug in hybrid electric vehicle has both electric and gas power, and you can operate electric only or vice versa. The battery electric vehicle is completely zero emissions because it is completely powered by electricity. And this brings up the conversation about chargers. There is level 1 charging, which is the slowest method and usually looks like plugging in from an outlet. Level 2 charging is faster but requires a physical station. There are some examples, like the Salvation Army Housing Complex in Bell or Commerce City Hall. DC fast charging, it's in the name, it's the fastest and it gives you the most mileage per hour, but it also can cost the most.
I get gas like once a month.
Wow!
Yeah, once a month. And it's a 10-gallon tank, $35 a month. But it does complicate things if you have a house, or if you're lucky and you have the ability to plug at home. Electric cars are great. If you live in an apartment or someplace where you can't plug in overnight, they're very inconvenient. Like I wouldn't get it if I couldn't plug in overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Cindy, and I grew up here in Southeast LA, specifically in Maywood, and I'm currently living in Southgate. And I was able to lease a 2020 hybrid Toyota Corolla last year on a three-year lease. Some of the benefits that I've had is that I had a really old car. I had a 1996 Toyota Camry, and so a lot of the stuff was new internally of the car. One financial benefit was that I was saving a lot of more money. I am saving a lot of more money on gas. I emotionally feel less guilty about polluting and through my driving in my own community because we are already overburdened with industrial contamination from the factories and the companies, and also particularly diesel contamination from the freeways like the 710 freeway. So it's both like pocket wise but also value wise I feel much better with this car. And then when I looked around and drove around to see like what access I did have in my community for charging stations, it was pretty limited. Ultimately, that motivated me to just stick with the hybrid so I could still use gas and not have to rely on the charging stations. But I think that those are big indicators of what needs to happen in these communities and what companies need to do in being able to increase the access for us for electric vehicles. Is like one is just more charging stations in communities of color, and particularly in communities that are already facing environmental racism, because we're just already overburdened with a lot of pollution. And if we can have a clean conscience about the cars that we're driving, and if we can have access to these cars and the ability to fuel them, that would be really beneficial. I don't know how this would work, but maybe finding ways to create incentives for landlords in particular to create like at least one parking spot there in their property to have a charging station capability, kind of to incentivize their tenants, even if they don't have an electric vehicle, but maybe like that'll incentivize people, their tenants, to eventually transition into an electric vehicle or something like that.
Hello everyone, my name is David and I live in Bell Gardens. I recently participated in the APC Fellowship Program. We learned a lot about specifically electric cars, the chargers they use, differences in the communities around us, how it's not as accessible nowadays for most of our communities. And I think it's really important for us to start moving towards that direction. The fact that a lot of our vehicles and transportation is focused on the fossil fuel industry. I think people don't notice how much we're affecting our world. One of the biggest challenges with this is the chargers. It's still not as accessible, especially within our areas. But I know there's government programs that also try to help you with that. Not only buying the vehicle, but also trying to buy electric chargers, which I believe is it's pretty good. I think it's a really big step towards that direction.
Hey everyone, Liana here. I'm quickly taking over to talk to you about a newly developed web tool, the One Stop Shop program. The One Stop Shop web tool is intended to help us, community members, more easily take advantage and access clean transportation programs and initiatives. So let's go ahead and open up that page, and I'll share my screen so y'all can see what that looks like. Cool. So this is the main page right here for the web tool. And because of time, I'm going to go ahead and focus on this area, which is kind of the main part of the web tool. So you want to click right here to get started. And you're going to answer a few questions so that it helps determine which programs you're eligible for. So I'm going to answer it as an example. What am I looking for? I'm looking for money to help buy or lease an electric vehicle. Zip code, let's just put the first one that pops up. Household size 1. Income range, I'm going to put the less than $2,500 bracket. Let's put that I rent and that I currently have a vehicle that works. That's the year, say 2002. Cool, check my eligibility. So as you see, it already tells me that I may qualify for some money. I'm going to put next, and then these are the results. It shows you your best fit. You can change your preferences. It talks to you about the programs. So for me, the ones that came out with the sample that I put in was the Clean Vehicle Assistance Program. So you click on it and it shows you information. As you can see, you can click Learn More. So the Clean Vehicle Assistance Program is an opportunity for folks to get a grant of up to $5,000 and also take advantage of a loan with affordable interest rates. Then we have the California Clean Vehicle Rebate Project. So if you live in California, you could get up to $4,500 in rebates after buying or leasing an all-new electric or plug-in vehicle. And Replace Your Ride is an opportunity to get up to $9,500 to replace your old car with a new or used electric car, or also a plug-in hybrid or a hybrid. And the amount you get kind of depends on the car you get, in addition to some other factors. Yeah, so these are the basic parts of the tool, and it's again really helpful to narrow down that information, and then you would click on how to apply to go ahead and access those applications. It asks you to fill in a bit more, but again, we're not going to focus on that for the moment. The web tool is really useful to get the information on the programs that exist, what you're eligible for, and then getting those applications. So if this is something that's caught your attention, or if you've already been in need of replacing your vehicle, please do not hesitate to contact me or Jojo. We will actually be hosting a more in-depth informational meeting next month, and we'll be available to walk folks through that process a little bit more. And I also wanted to highlight the fact that these clean transportation programs are actually only some of the many initiatives that exist that are meant to help folks connect through the Info That App program. The Info That App program is created to help LA residents save money, energy, and the environment. And myself and Jocelyn are also available to support you or anyone in the areas who's interested to learn more about Info That App. That's all I have for y'all. Thank you so much.